let's go to the edge of the trading floor in Chicago. Standing by to visit with us here is Scott Gecas, Wall Street Trading. I tell you, Scott, I suppose probably the best way to look at this with your glass half full is there's been something here in the grain market for everybody today.
Yeah, that's one way to put it, that's for sure. The grain market right now is acting very supportive. And one of the reasons why is just going into the report coming out of the USDA next week. So you're seeing the private surveys come all over the board, versus what the USDA is saying. So we're going to have to wait and see really how that's going to play out. Part of the reason why we have a little bit bullish tone today is because of those private surveys. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out. But this is one of the first times that the whole trade war talk and all this China news going back and forth is taking a back seat, which is really odd because if you look at the global markets, it's center stage, and obviously, the equities are just getting pounded today because of it. So it's definitely a little bit of a bullish tone in the grain market, seeing any type of green, any type of positive movement. That's very good. As far as the soybeans go, the June exports were the highest on record. We had about 3.19 that was exported. China took about 1.73. So that is significant. But if China is going to halt complete imports from as far as the ags go, that's definitely a concern. But right now it's going to take a back seat to the report coming out on Monday.
Okay, so we did see a little bit of a rebound over here in this market, as you mentioned, but now we're starting to see that soften again. Is there anything behind that, or is it just this ebb and flow of this grain trade today?
I think going back and forth, I think you're going to see a lot of sideways trade or big spikes and big drops just due to headlines recently. But I think in order to get a foothold or a handle on what direction we're really going to go, we have to wait until that report comes out on Monday.
Okay, well, it's a week away. We've got a lot of time to kind of look things over. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us here on the Market Day Report. What a wild up and down day in this livestock market as well.
Yeah, for sure. Friday, the European Union agreement for U.S. beef, that was definitely a positive tone. But however, that is definitely being dragged down by just the global headlines as far as the trade war talks go back and forth. With that, the EU agreement, early estimates are in the further out term is that the exports could have the potential to triple. But we have to wait and see how this is really going to play out. So those are just estimates, just opinions, nothing that's really substantial going back and forth with it. So we just have to wait and see how those numbers are going to come out on a month-to-month basis. As far as the hog trade goes, it's all over the place. Volatility is absolutely skyrocketing with good reason. So if they do halt all U.S. imports as far as the ags go, in the past few months, traders were just buying dips, adding contracts to their longs for the hogs. So right now, the rumor is that we're looking for any type of positive move up, and you're going to see some liquidation, decreasing those longs, and whether or not the longer-term funds are going to just give up on that whole African swine fever speculation that the demand is going to continue and grow. That is yet to be seen. But we expect instead of traders just buying dips, now they're going to be selling the pops. So we have to wait and see how that's going to play out.
Wow. Well, Scott, thank you very much. Obviously, as we can hear in the background there, a very volatile and wild day. Scott Gecas with Wall Street Trading here.